If you think superheroes only exist in movies, think again. Across the globe, there are men and women who train beyond human limits, endure hardships that would break most people, and complete missions so secret we may never know the full truth. They are shadows in the night, able to infiltrate, strike, and disappear without a trace. Today, we're counting down the top 10 deadliest special forces in the world, ranked not only by their relentless training and advanced weapons, but by the legendary operations that made them feared across the globe. Number 10. KSK, Germany. In March 2011, Libya was collapsing into civil war. Foreign citizens trapped in Tripoli desperately needed evacuation. Out of the chaos, a German Airbus touched down, guarded not by ordinary troops, but by a small, silent team of men in desert camouflage. They moved with precision, extracting civilians and slipping out before anyone knew they were there. Those men were Germany's Kommando Spezialkräfte, or KSK. The KSK was formed in the 1990s, when Germany realized it needed its own dedicated special forces, after struggling to respond to crises in the Balkans. Since then, the KSK has become one of NATO's most elite, though least publicized, units. Their selection process is punishing. Weeks of forced marches through the Bavarian Alps, days of sleep deprivation, and psychological screening that breaks even seasoned soldiers. Passing selection is only the beginning. Full training takes 2 years, including parachuting, demolitions, urban warfare, survival in jungles and deserts, and close-quarter combat. One of their most feared phases is resistance to interrogation. Recruits are captured, deprived of food and water, and subjected to extreme interrogation simulations for days. Many never make it through. Those who pass join an elite few who have operated in Afghanistan, Kosovo, and beyond. Their arsenal includes German-engineered weapons like the HK-416 and MP7, as well as long-range G22 sniper rifles. Quiet, disciplined, and devastatingly effective, the KSK is Germany's scalpel in global conflicts. Number 9. JW Grom, Poland. Imagine swimming in a freezing lake in Poland in the dead of winter. Now, imagine being forced to dive down, tie knots underwater, and hold your breath for minutes at a time while your lungs scream for air. Whew. That is a normal day in training for Poland's JW Grom, also known as Thunder. Formed in the 1990s, Grom quickly built a reputation as one of Europe's most capable units. Their training is compared to torment, combat diving in freezing waters, evasion drills where they're hunted for days without food or rest, and survival tests that push them to the brink of collapse. Even off-duty, they live under strict rules. No alcohol, no fighting outside missions, because the government considers them too dangerous when unchecked. Despite their relative secrecy, GROM has taken part in high-profile missions alongside American forces in Iraq and Afghanistan. They specialize in surgical strikes and rescues, striking fast and disappearing before anyone realizes what happened. Armed with modular rifles, Glock pistols, shotguns, and the Barrett sniper rifle, Grom may lack Hollywood fame, but insiders know, if you're in trouble behind enemy lines, you want Thunder on your side. Number 8. Alpha Group, Russia, October 2002. Armed attackers storm a Moscow theater, taking more than 800 hostages. After days of negotiation, a shadowy Russian unit moves in. Moments later, explosions shake the building. Gunfire echoes through the streets. The attackers are neutralized, but tragically, over 100 civilian lives are lost in the operation. This was the work of Alpha Group. Alpha was created in 1974 by the KGB as Russia's answer to global terrorism. Their motto is chilling. Where Alpha appears, compromise stops. Unlike other forces that focus on surgical precision, Alpha's philosophy is total elimination of threats. Their training includes endurance drills under extreme pain, survival under hostile conditions, and even emergency medical training where they learn to operate on themselves. While they have prevented countless attacks, their tactics have also caused controversy. The Moscow theater siege remains infamous, but it also shows the uncompromising reality of Alpha's mission. Equipped with AK-74 rifles, PKM machine guns, and Dragunov sniper rifles, Alpha Group is not designed to negotiate. They are designed to end. Number 6. Sayeret Matkal, Israel. On the night of July 4, 1976, Israeli commandos landed at Entebbe Airport in Uganda. In less than 2 hours, they stormed a terminal filled with armed captors, rescued over 100 hostages, and flew them home. The world was stunned. The unit responsible was Sayeret Matkal. Founded in 1957, Sayeret Matkal is Israel's answer to living in one of the most hostile regions on Earth. Their training is harsh, blending navigation, urban warfare, Krav Maga, and foreign languages. Perhaps the most feared test is the final one. Candidates are kidnapped by their own instructors and subjected to days of high-pressure interrogation. Only those who refuse to break are accepted. Their missions are legendary. Beyond the Entebbe raid, they carried out an operation in Tunisia in 1988 that resulted in the elimination of a senior militant leader. And in 2007, they destroyed a Syrian nuclear facility. Known for stealth, intelligence gathering, and surgical strikes, Sayeret Matkal is one of the most respected forces worldwide. Number 5. Navy SEAL Team 6, USA. It was a dark night in May 2011. A small team of American helicopters flew silently into Abbottabad, Pakistan. Minutes later, one of the most wanted men in history was gone. The world learned the name of the unit that carried out the operation: SEAL Team 6. Officially known as DevGru, or the Naval Special Warfare Development Group, SEAL Team 6 is America's most famous Special Forces unit. Their training is infamous. Candidates are thrown into swimming pools with hands and feet bound, forced to escape or drown. They endure Hell Week, 5 days of constant physical punishment with only 4 hours of sleep. They crawl through freezing mud, run endless miles, and lie in crashing surf until their bodies give out. Later, they're sent to icy waters in Alaska, where hypothermia sets in within minutes. Many never return to training. Those who make it become America's deadliest warriors. Beyond Bin Laden, SEAL Team 6 rescued Captain Richard Phillips from Somali pirates in 2009 and has conducted countless classified raids across the world. Their weapons include the HK-416 rifle, M4 carbines, and SIG pistols. But their true strength lies in their relentless willpower. Number 4. Frogman Corps, Denmark. On a freezing night in the Baltic Sea, a group of men slips silently beneath the waves. Hours later, a ship explodes in the harbour. Few people realize that this wasn't sabotage by an enemy force, but a training operation by Denmark's elite Frogman Corps. Known locally as Frømandskorpset, this tiny unit of only 150 men is one of the toughest special forces in Europe. Selection begins with 6 months of training that most fail. The first week alone eliminates 90% of candidates. Recruits must swim long distances in icy waters, perform underwater drills while holding their breath, and endure hypothermia that leaves many collapsing. Those who remain continue with sabotage, demolition, and survival courses. The Frogmen have deployed in Afghanistan, served in NATO operations, and hunted pirates off Somalia. With weapons like the HK-416 and MP5, they are specialized in maritime warfare, capable of infiltrating harbors and disabling enemy ships before the enemy knows they are there. Number 3. GIGN, France. In December 1994, Air France Flight 8969 was hijacked by armed attackers. The plane sat on the tarmac in Marseille, filled with terrified passengers. Then, a team of French commandos stormed aboard. In just minutes, the attackers were neutralized and 173 passengers were safe. This was the work of GIGN. The Groupe d'Intervention de la Gendarmerie Nationale is France's elite counter-terrorism unit. Their training is as intense as their missions. Recruits must swim with their hands and feet bound, run miles with heavy packs, and endure psychological stress tests. The most infamous is the trust shot. One recruit hangs a clay disc on his chest while another shoots it at close range. It is a test of nerves that many refuse. GIGN is small, with only about 400 members, but their record is remarkable. Beyond the Air France rescue, they have freed hostages in Yemen, captured dangerous militants across Europe, and played a key role in eliminating the attackers behind the Charlie Hebdo incident. They may not be soldiers in the traditional sense, but GIGN is one of the most lethal tactical units in the world. Number 2. Delta Force, USA, December 2003. Deep in Iraq, American soldiers raid a farmhouse. Inside, hiding in a hole, is Saddam Hussein, the former dictator of Iraq. The men who captured him were not ordinary troops, but America's most secret warriors. Delta Force. Officially known as the 1st Special Forces Operational Detachment Delta, Delta is shrouded in secrecy. Their training is classified, but insiders reveal glimpses of its intensity. Candidates, often drawn from the Rangers and Green Berets, are pushed through weeks of sleep deprivation, forced marches through mountains with barely any food, and psychological tests designed to break their will. Only about 5% survive. Those who do are trained in demolitions, espionage, and covert infiltration. Delta is entrusted with the impossible. They stormed Panama in 1989, captured Saddam Hussein, and have conducted countless missions around the globe. Even within the US military, Delta's name carries a weight of mystery and fear. Number 1. SAS UK London, May 1980. 6 armed attackers stormed the Iranian embassy, taking 26 hostages. After days of failed negotiations, masked men dressed in black rope down the building. Explosions rip through the embassy. Minutes later, 5 attackers are neutralized and every hostage is rescued. Watching on live TV, the world gasped. The men responsible were Britain's Special Air Service, the SAS. Formed during World War II, the SAS is the blueprint for nearly every modern Special Forces unit on this list. Their motto is legendary: "Who dares, wins." And daring is exactly what defines them. Selection is notorious. Candidates are forced to march through the Welsh mountains carrying 55-pound packs, running 6 marathons in 5 days. Survivors are sent to the jungles of Borneo, where they must live off the land for weeks. The final test is escape and evasion. Recruits are dropped in the wilderness with only a map and compass. They must evade capture while being hunted by the full SAS. Capture is inevitable, and that's when the real trial begins. Recruits are subjected to days of interrogation resistance training, including sleep deprivation, white noise, and psychological stress. Only 1% survive. The SAS became legends during the Iranian embassy siege, but their record spans decades. Deep raids in the Gulf War, covert operations in Afghanistan, and countless missions that remain classified. They are often deployed first and withdrawn last. Their ability to defeat forces many times their size without losing a man is legendary. For many, the SAS remains the ultimate Special Forces unit, the gold standard by which all others are judged. From Germany's KSK to Britain's SAS, these are not just soldiers. They are human weapons, forged through hardship and sharpened by impossible missions. They operate in silence, leaving behind stories that become legends. But if these warriors are this deadly, Here's the question. How do world leaders protect themselves against them? The answer may surprise you.